It's the Gold Mike Podcast, where the mic is gold, and this is a podcast. I'm your host, Mark Paul, and today we got YouTube sensation, Auston Holleman. Alright, so if you don't know Auston Holleman, get to know him right now. This guy is the leader of the Passport Bros. I got up on this guy, I forget what channel it was, Black Development Network. I believe he showed up on on Austin's platform to kind of like detract from some of the stuff that he say. And, I seen the video, and that's how I met Austin. And after I met Austin, I've just been mesmerized by this guy's content. Like, this guy is, like, hilarious to me. And it's not like that it's like I'm laughing with him. I'm kind of laughing at him, but at the same time, I feel sorry for the guy, and I don't want to pick on him. But it's like, it has to be said, and it's just like, I really hope that this guy would mature a little bit and kind of understand what's more important in life. Okay, so when I first said his name, I said that he's the leader of the Passport Brothers. And if you don't know what the Passport Brothers are, it is a coalition of men with a lot of dating problems. It's a coalition of men with a lot of dating problems. They are primarily in the USA, and they seem to have very, very, very extreme problems dating. And it's like, I don't understand, what the problem is, why these guys are having so many issues with dating. But one of their main talking points is that, well, let me say, one of Auston Holleman's main talking points is that American women are trash and dating overseas is better. That's his number one objective for his YouTube channel, is to convince other men to stop dating in the United States and start dating in other countries. And you might be wondering, that's silly. Isn't that dumb? And I'm just like, yes, it is silly. It really is dumb. Because if you are having so much trouble dating to the point where you have to go grab a passport and fly 5,000 miles plus outside of the U.S. to get some good treatment by some of the women you date, is very, very mind-boggling for me. Because it's like, is dating really that bad? Is dating really that bad to the point where you have to fly 5,000 plus miles outside of the country to get you some? And it's just sad how this guy told a story about one time he was, I forget where he was, I guess Colombia, wherever he was, I don't care, wherever he was overseas, and he was with a woman that, he I guess he liked her. He was talking about how when they was talking, she would rub his stomach, rub his arms and stuff, do everything a prostitute's supposed to do, right? Doing everything a whore is supposed to do, so he had him a very good whore, and he comes to, when he got to the airport and he was ready to leave, or the train, wherever they were going to depart, whatever location that was, I may have it wrong, he said he cried. He cried. And it's like, bruh, if you are crying over a woman that you left in overseas, won't you just stay? Why you have to come back to the U.S. and try to down other women in the U.S.? You have to down them and prop them up, and then now you look like a clown. And you really look like a clown to me, because not only are you flying 5,000 miles out to get pussy, you're paying for it. And I have a little proof right here. Boom. All right. So this is a comment that I put on Auston Holleman's video where he was showing, I guess he was vlogging his experience in whatever country he was in. I forget what country he's in. I really don't care. It don't really matter. But he had a few women in there, and I was just like, so he you know, like, maybe he is owing to something. But then my brain got to twinkling. I was like, let me try to pick his brain on this. Let me try to see if I can get him to tell on himself. So I put on there, as you can see, I put, how much did y'all pay for the escorts? And I put a question mark, right? And one thing I didn't see when I made the screenshot, somebody commented in the middle of the thing, and he basically, the person that commented basically said that it'd be way cheaper in the U.S. So I don't think Auston was gonna reply to my comment if he didn't see that guy's comment as well. So I think that guy comment made him feel comfortable about spilling the beans about what he's doing down there. So the guy, he wrote, you know, it's cheaper, way cheaper than in the U.S. and a whole bunch of other things. So Auston pops on there and say, facts, less than $200. So he over there paying $200 for some broke Hispanic pussy, right? And he's trying to come to the U.S. and really shit on U.S. women as if U.S. women is the problem. Is obviously he's the problem. And I think it's just extremely funny how this guy is, you know, sprouting up. You know, he's like, hey, more power to him. You know, I'm not against somebody, you know, bettering their channel, but he's like really ridiculous to people that, you know, aren't gullible, I should say. You know, for somebody that is, you know, strong-minded and understand and have a little bit more experience, you would find a lot of the stuff that he say is malarkey. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with going overseas and messing with women, but if you're paying for it, yeah, I think there's something wrong with it. But if you just going down there and you partying and you end up, you know, finding a female that you cool with, all right, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody got no problem with you going overseas and finding love is if you want to go on the deep end. You know, nobody cares about anything like that. But I just think the problem with this Auston Holleman guy is the fact that he is coming back to the States and shitting on American women as if he's not paying for prostitutes. And I was real strategic. If I would have wrote prostitutes, the guy wouldn't have commented on there. So I knew to say escorts, because everybody's favorite shiny suit guy, you know, he talked about how he bought escorts, and, you know, escort is just a nicer term to say prostitute, you know, but everybody thinks it's cool, like, if you call them an escort, you know, so that, you know, or that's here nor there. But yeah, is like I said, there's no problem with going overseas and doing your little dating thing, but it is a problem if you're coming back to the U.S., quote unquote, shitting on American women, like dating American women is so bad, and you're not even doing fair dating in whatever country you're in. You're paying $200 for escorts. So I'm not gonna spend too much more time on Auston. He is a young guy, I believe 23 years old, and he got a lot to learn about life. Oh, and there's one other thing before I go. I do want to point out that Auston Holleman have a GoFundMe for $70,000. So if you want to support his tricking of him, paying $200 for escorts, go ahead and hit the GoFundMe, because he is asking his supporters for $70,000 to fund his trips overseas, so that I guess he can pay for pussy in different countries. But like I said, I'm not going to go too long on this. I'm going to close it right here. It's the Gold Mike Podcast, where the mic is gold and this is a podcast. I'm your host, Mark Paul, and I'm out.